My name is Ambassador Dr. Deepak Vohra, Ambassador of India and Special Advisor to the Prime Minister in 3 African countries in Kargil and Leh, and also very closely involved with the outstanding work that the FairGaze group is doing. I'm very pleased that they are now focusing on what action school children can take to fight perhaps the defining challenge of our lives, which is climate change. For dealing with the Chinese virus, we have the best specialists and doctors in the world. The rest of us can get vaccinated, we can follow virus protocols. लेकिन एक और चुनौती है हमारे सामने, a challenge to our survival. Climate change is a crisis multiplier with acute effects on food security, natural resources, and migration patterns. See the background behind me. This is what the earth looks like when rain doesn't come. See that little kid looking desperately for drinking water. I've seen this in the mid-60s when India's soil lay cracked and open from the south to the north. Over the course of the Earth's 4.5 billion year history, the climate has changed a lot. We all know that climate change made the dinosaurs extinct. Unfortunately, we are now ruled by dinosaurs as far as climate change is concerned. The rapid warming we are seeing now can't be explained by natural cycles of warming and cooling. Our country, India, is leading the fight against climate destruction and urging other countries to intensify the fight. Otherwise, all the hot air expended by leaders and activists at conferences such as COP26 that just ended in Glasgow will actually raise global temperatures. Remember, it's hot air. The crux is to find the right balance between national interest, personal commitment, and international responsibility. We've seen devastating floods in China and Germany, a heat wave in Siberia. June 2021 was Moscow's hottest June on record. Latin America, climate gets hotter and drier. Africa, we are seeing climate change that brings drier temperatures and rainfall variability. Madagascar, that was once self-sufficient in agriculture, now faces famine owing to climate change. People are eating locusts, shoe leather, and leaves. Climate-related disasters पिछले 30 साल में 3 गुना बढ़े हैं. India has proved that it is possible to develop while preserving the ecology. As I record this message, I'm listening to the Shanti mantra that wishes peace to all plants and animals and living creatures and to our planet. We do not have the time for climate racism or climate discrimination. India has the will to defend the climate, whether through solar energy, reclamation of degraded land, use of non-polluting green technologies, or conserving our forests. आप में से कुछ को याद होगा the Chipko forest movement in India around 1973 in the Himalayan region, and it went on to become a rallying point for many future environmental movements all over the world. लोगों ने पेड़ों को अपने बाहों से पकड़ लिया, उनसे चिपक गए, and they prevented forest contractors from cutting down trees. कुछ ही महीने हुए हैं, 14,000 of the world's leading scientists declared a climate emergency, warning that we have only 12 years, not 200, to limit global warming and avoid climate breakdown. The window to save our world, sons and daughters of India, is closing. We all know that governments have many other priorities and interests. So citizens of our planet must take matters into their own hands. Rising sea levels is an existential threat for dozens of countries and hundreds of millions of people. The kind of changes जो कई हजार साल में होते थे, अब 10 साल में या 20 साल में हो जाते हैं. The last decade, by the way, was the hottest in human history. Wildfires, cyclones, floods, droughts, आजकल ये बहुत normal हो गए हैं. Our country, India, is a major victim of extreme heat, floods, and sandstorms, among other devastating natural events. So what are the main causes of climate change? Number one, increased use of fossil fuels. Koila, tail, gas. We use it to make electricity, to run vehicles, and for industry. then deforestation, because living trees absorb and store carbon dioxide, and then increasingly intensive agriculture, which emits greenhouse gases like methane and nitrous oxide. Anyone who doesn't believe that climate change is happening doesn't believe in science. Climate change, sons and daughters of India, must be fought in our everyday actions. The targets that we have voluntarily committed ourselves to are unprecedented for a developing country. We mean what we say. We say what we mean. India's commitment to ecologically sustainable economic development is linked with our age-old civilizational values of respecting nature, incorporating a sense of intergenerational equity and common humanity. See what we are doing. There is an active and vibrant civil society and enlightened media groups like FairGaze promoting citizens' awareness of the threat of climate change. And they will ask you to tell us what you can do to meet this threat. The good news is that we have the solutions. The technology for a low-carbon future already exists, with real, technically feasible, affordable alternatives to fossil fuels. While the world will never return to the stable climate that gave birth to civilization, we can still act in time to save our civilization. 2,500 years ago, the great Chanakya had said that every relationship is guided by self-interest. To save our planet is in every human being's self-interest. Sons and daughters of India, I do not own this planet. I have only borrowed it from you, and you in turn will hold it in trust for your children. So what can you do? Tell us. Switch off lights when you don't need them. Ask daddy and mommy not to use the car twice a week. Plant a tree wherever you go. Spread awareness about combating climate destruction. As brilliant and committed young Indians, make the environment your priority. It may not be very glamorous business, but it is essential to our survival. Tell us your story. India needs to be inspired. You are the world's inspiration.